Also, one of the topics we examine in the course of studying sociology of the family is the changing roles of the family and its implication on parenting styles in Nigeria. We have said it several times that parenting style has a lot of impact on the children. So the changing roles of the family in Nigeria have its very significant implication for parenting style. And this, in most times, is influenced by a range of factors that include problems like urbanization, economic shifts, globalization, and the evolution of gender roles. What are the factors responsible for the changing roles of the family as a social institution? Number one is urbanization. As more families continue to migrate to move to urban areas, the traditional structures of the family that we've always had are now evolving. Extended families are gradually being replaced by nuclear families, and this has led to a total shift in parenting dynamics. Urban living most times necessitates some kind of dual income household, which can change how parents share responsibilities and address child rearing. The father goes to work in the morning, the mother goes to work in the morning, and this, whether we like it or not, affects the way we train our children, because migration is a constant thing. People are moving out of rural areas to urban areas. So this has a great impact on the type of traditional family structures that we have built over the years. And those things are gradually changing, because now extended families are being replaced by nuclear families. My father, my mother, my children. Nobody cares about extended families again. And sometimes ago, it takes just two people to give birth to a child, but it takes the entire society, the entire community, to train a child. Number two problem is economic changes. The present economic situation of the country is nothing to write home about. Parents are struggling to take care of their children. Children are also struggling for survival on their own. So, as women increasingly participate in the workforce, as well as men, traditional roles are being challenged on a daily basis. They are being challenged on the daily basis, because this type of economic empowerment has led to shared parenting responsibilities. We've even seen situations whereby people even get married now. They would rather tell their spouse that, look, some of these responsibilities are going to be shared. This is what we are going to do. This is what I can take. You earn this social amount, I earn this amount. Therefore, we can come together to make a better life for the children. So there is also financial pressure. This financial pressure can lead to families, adopting new strategies for balancing work and family commitments, because this will affect their expectations. Not only their own expectations, it also affects the expectations of their children's contribution to the household. Then number three, there is a serious shift in gender roles, because as societies continue to change, everything in the society changes alongside with it. And this is what you need to understand. There is a growing recognition of the need for gender equality in families. Men now are increasingly taking on roles that are traditionally associated with women, such as caregiving and household chores. There are men who can even do some of these things better than women. Then this shared approach is also becoming a good thing, because it has encouraged some forms of collaborative parenting styles where both parents come together and get actively engaged in decision making about their children's upbringing. Number four is education and awareness. Over the years and in recent times, we now have higher levels of education among parents, and this is also transforming parenting style. Educated parents are more likely to adopt a progressive parenting approach that will emphasize critical thinking, emotional intelligence, and some forms of open communication within the family as a social institution. There is also awareness of children's rights and developmental needs. This is also increasing on a daily basis, and it has led to a more informed parenting decisions within the family as a social institution. Then, recently, there is the rise of technology and social media, and this is also influencing parenting styles because parents often use some forms of digital tools for communication, education, and monitoring their children activities, which now affects how children learn and interact. This also places parents in a position to balance the screen time with traditional outdoor play and social interaction. A lot of things are happening because technology is gradually, affecting some of these things. And what exactly are the implications of this changing role on parenting style? When we talk of parenting, we are talking about the psychological, emotional, social training of a child from infancy to adulthood. So, one of the implications on parenting style is authoritative parenting. There is a serious change towards more authoritative parenting style, which combine responsiveness and demand. Parents are now becoming more nurturing and attentive to their children. Sorry, attentive rather, attentive to their children's needs. And at the same time, they maintain a very clear boundary and expectation between them and their children. There is there is, in contrast to more authoritarian styles that were historically prevalent over the years, this is also characterized by high level of strict rules and less emotional support. Number two implication is increased emphasis on education. Parents are now placing higher priority on their children's education, and this fosters an environment that promotes academic success and lifelong learning. This includes investing in tutoring, extracurricular activities, and technological use for learning. So, parents are also more likely to engage with their children's schooling because they need to advocate for their needs and preference in educational settings. That's number two. I said number one is authoritative parenting, number two is an increased emphasis on education, and number three is communication and what? Emotional support. If you look at the modern parenting style, it places greater emphasis on open communication and emotional support. Therefore, parents are most times encouraged to listen to their children and make some kind of validation towards their feelings. And when they make this validation towards their feelings, it fosters a very strong emotional bond. These shifts help or enhance children to develop better emotional and social skills, which make them more resilient in life. Number four is the work life balance. In fact, this is very important because the challenge of balancing work and family is leading to a more flexible approach to parenting. Parents may negotiate their personal schedules to ensure that they can attend to important events in their children's lives, like school functions and extracurricular activities. We've seen parents saying, we are going for visiting day, we are going for open day. This is just a means of going to check how well, how far their children or their kids have gone. Then number five is cultural hybridization. Cultural what? Hybridization. People are gradually exposing themselves to global parenting ideas through what? Through media and travel. And this is seriously influencing Nigerian parenting style. There are parents who have adopted a kind of blended approach. Blended approach in the sense that they integrate traditional values with the modern parenting techniques, which over the years and in recent times has led to cultural clashes or and enriched family practices. So it is important that we understand clearly the changing roles of the family in Nigeria, and we need to take cognizance of the fact that it is reshaping parenting style because parenting style is now moving towards a more flexible, collaborative, and supportive approaches. The challenges, however, have remained, especially in rural areas under traditional norms. Because these changes hold a serious potential for nurturing a generation of well-rounded, independent, and emotionally intelligent individuals. So the Nigerian family, like we said in the beginning, historically is characterized by extended structures. Not only extended structures, there is also a rigid hierarchy. The hierarchical ranking is very rigid, and traditional gender role is very strong. And this is all these things I've mentioned are presently undergoing a significant transformation. This evolution is most times driven by urbanization, increased female participation in the workforce, and some forms of evolving socioeconomic realities. These all have a profound implication on parenting style within Nigeria as a nation. So, in a nutshell, or let me say traditionally, parenting in Nigeria emphasizes or places so much emphasis on discipline, disobedience, and respect for elders. And these are often reinforced through authoritarian methods. The extended family that you and I know, that we have seen, that we have experienced, provides a very, crucial support system, distributing child rearing responsibilities and reinforcing cultural values in the children. But gradually, the shift towards nuclear families and dual income households is gradually, or let me say, has gradually diminished this support network. And it now places a greater pressure on individual parents. And this will definitely, whether we like it or not, lead to a kind of inconsistent parenting practices as parents struggle to balance work and family together. So there is this increased exposure to globalized media, like we pointed out earlier on, because globalization, media, and education has challenged the traditional notions of child rearing. We can't escape this because there is a growing awareness of child psychology and alternative parenting style that prioritizes communication, empathy, and positive reinforcement of the positive reinforcement that gives the children a better life. So in conclusion, or let me say generally, the changing role within the Nigerian family structures are undeniably reshaping parenting styles, because there is now a massive transition from extended to nuclear families, and this is coupled with evolving societal values and an increased exposure to alternative child rearing philosophies. Presents this sorry, or let me say, this presents a serious opportunity and challenges. So if we explore this complex landscape, you will understand that it requires a very delicate balance between preserving cultural values and embracing modern approaches that will promote healthy child development and foster a more nurturing family environment. Therefore, take a look at most of the families around. There are issues on ground, there are changing roles. Remember, sometimes ago, parents who were not educated produced lawyers, doctors, engineers, professors, but the people they produce, the people the illiterate parent produced, are now producing children that are not serious. You and I could be part of those children that are not serious. But let's check ourselves. What exactly has gone wrong that has made parenting style different from what it used to be? Now, children no longer listen to parents. Parents can no longer even control their kids. Unlike those days, you must listen attentively to the means of social control, and whatever method of social control your parents adopt that time, you must be very, conversant with those methods. By now, the society is complex. It is very difficult to understand. We now see children who are not even ready to build themselves. We are now seeing parents who are highly irresponsible. We are now beginning to see parents who do not see the welfare of their children as a priority. This is a very sad moment for Nigeria, because the future leaders are presently bad right now. So what exactly does the future hold for the country as a nation? In a nutshell, most of us are going to find ourselves in certain places and areas future. Let us please adapt to those changes.